bringing news that matters to you. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition.
Welcome back. BTC subscribers in Bullocks Harbor, Barry Islands could have some telecommunication services restored as early as Friday. The BTC tower on that island collapsed during a repair exercise being carried out by an external contractor on February 19th. There were no injuries reported, but landline, mobile and internet services were disrupted. Now, while local calls have not been affected, the residents had to rely on 4 satellite phones, 1 with the medical officer and 3 at the BTC office, in order to call off island. Now, BTC has been able to put in place 70-foot poles as a temporary solution for the resumption of some services. By Friday, the tower, some 200 feet high, collapsed during a scheduled tower replacement exercise to improve telecommunication services on that island. In other news, shelter service management and initial damage assessment in the time of a storm. That is the focus of a 3-day workshop at NEMA's office here in Freeport. The certification program is sponsored by the National Emergency Management Agency and the Grand Bahama Disaster Consultative Committee. Luke Baffel, training officer with NEMA, is one of the facilitators.
We let him know that being a shelter manager is not just sitting there. It now requires you producing documents and information, right? So it's a component called shelter administration. Following that, it'll be shelter operations. Things happen in shelter, the way you operate. Then you have problem solving inside of it, and that's the big one. That's where we're gonna have them trained up to a bit, and then they would have role plays of persons coming in with this problem, that problem, or just quiet, and they need to be able to read these persons and seat them properly, categorize and take care of them and assure them and comfort them until we would say the storm has passed.
Now, this training is taking place at the local consultative committee prepares for the 2013 Atlantic hurricane season. Co-chairman of the committee, Tammy Mitchell, is pleased with the response of volunteers signing up for the training. She's hoping that this will produce an efficient response team when needed.
What we're hoping to do is to have more people qualified and fully trained to manage shelters, as well as to do initial damage assessments on the island of Grand Bahama. And it's encouraging to see that we have a large grouping that has come out today from the various organizations on the island. So we're hoping that this, in going forward, more persons would volunteer of their time, not just to come and participate during the workshops, but to be physically prepared and ready to go out if they're called.
For over 50 years, women in the Bahamas have joined women throughout the globe in an organized way of prayer. Each year, the service is written by a different country, and this time around, member of the National and Grand Bahama Committee, Gwendolyn Newbold, says France will host the ecumenical service.
We're very excited because we're coming very close to 2015 when the service will be written by the Bahamas National. We're already very busy working on that service, and it is about prepared and ready for release to the committees around the world. But this year, the service is written by the women of France, and their theme is, I was a stranger and you welcomed me. It's a very timely theme as nations around the world are dealing with the influx of people who are migrating for economic and political reasons.
Now, those in attendance will participate in the Fellowship of the Least Coin. Lillian Carey, member of the National and Grand Bahama Committee, explains.
This tradition of the least coin will continue on. You're still asked to put pennies that you have saved from last year into this year's service, which will be held at St. Andrew's Methodist Church in Hoxville, 7:30 p.m. on Friday, March 1st.
Now, once again, the service will take place at the St. Andrew's Methodist Church in Hawksbill. Well, that is going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of our entire ZNS News team,
I'm Megan Shepard.
I'm Shasheena Rule. Have a great evening.